Hey there, this is Darren LaCroix, day 32. Excuse me, your story, your message, your feedback. We all say we want feedback. Of course I want feedback, but most of the time we really don't, myself included. Because if I get feedback and it's good, that means I need to do more work to improve my message. But if you have a message that matters, the one critical factor that you need to employ all the time is this: crave feedback. That's right. Don't just ask for it, crave it. Yeah. Feedback is the essential. It's the secret tool of pros, meaning the feedback you get. There's two kinds of feedback. Got to be really clear. Two kinds of feedback. Number one, here's what I thought and felt. When I heard you deliver your message, your Facebook Live, your story, your speech, your presentation, here's what I thought and felt. Everyone is qualified to tell you thought and felt. The other kind of feedback. Number two, coaching. Here's what you can do to make it better. Thought and felt. Everyone qualified. Here's what you could do to make it better. Not everyone qualified. You may have heard the story before, but when I was working on my championship speech, I literally fall down on my face in the speech. It's part of the speech. But when I went to 22 Toastmaster clubs, well-meaning Toastmasters who were experienced, all said, I was uncomfortable. You were down too long. You should get up sooner. I was uncomfortable. You were down too long. You should get up sooner. In that short phrase, they gave me both kinds of feedback. You were down too long. I was uncomfortable. Thought and felt. You should get up sooner. Coaching. How to make it better. Both kinds of feedback in just a short phrase. You and I, as the deliverer of the message, the person who wants to improve to make it better for the next audience. See, every incremental improvement makes it better and better and better. That's why great speeches aren't written, they're rewritten. Great stories aren't told, they're retold based on feedback. We know what we're trying to say. The story's in our head, the presentation, the message is in our head. But we don't necessarily know what comes across. What comes across to our audience? You don't know. You think you know, but you don't know. Feedback. You've got to crave it, ask for it. So when I went to these Toastmaster clubs, these well-meaning people gave me feedback. You were down too long, you should get up sooner. When I went to my coach, Mark Brown, who was qualified as a world-class coach to help me out and tell me how I could make it better, Mark said, "Oh, Darren, our job is not to make the audience comfortable. In fact, it's to make the audience uncomfortable so they will change." See, when you and I are in front of an audience, whether it's a Facebook live audience, our opportunity to help and give insights is there. It's a privilege. It's a privilege of somebody's time, whether you're getting paid or whether it's for free. So Mark said, stay down longer. I was uncomfortable, but I used that intentionally to stay down longer and make a point, an emotional point that moved the audience and got them to look at themselves. But if I listened to the average person and took the advice, the coaching advice of the average person, I wouldn't have won the speech contest, but more importantly, I wouldn't have impacted the lives that I got the opportunity to impact. So two kinds of feedback, thought and felt. Here's how you can make it better. Be careful who you listen to. Listening to the right people is crucial, or your message is never going to keep evolving. But here's a secret that I learned and has been serving me for years. Listen up. When someone comes up to you and says, "Oh, that was a great speech. That was a great presentation," I always stop them. I say thank you, receive the compliment. But if you stop there, your ego is hurting all the rest of the audiences who will ever hear that same presentation or story. So here's what you need to ask. As soon as they, hey, Tim Barnaby, thanks for joining me live. As soon as they say, that was a great presentation, stop them, say thank you, and then ask the magic question. What part was most helpful to you? What part was most helpful for you? See, if you just stop at the compliment, that's ego. Receive the compliment, absolutely. You worked hard for it. But now, here's the gold that's going to help you for future presentations. What was most helpful for you? And you and I are looking for commonalities. Hey, Doug Wood, thanks for joining me. You and I are looking for commonalities. If everyone says, well, that story about your mom and dad is a little confusing. Well, guess what? It's confusing because more and more people are saying it. So what we need to do is get specifics. What was helpful? So if we start hearing that story was great, that story was great, that story stays. Or what was it about the story that sticks? Was it about them? Was it about me? You've got to ask the questions. So your story, your message, your feedback, crave feedback. It is essential to making your message sticky, making your presentations world-class, and your videos matter and make a difference. So that's it for today. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.